does he have some sort of immunity? Does Keefe D have immunity? Why has there never been any prosecution of him, even though he's telling everybody
that he was in
in the car?
Yeah.
So Keefe D's first confession to law enforcement was in December of 2009 when we sat down with him under what's known as a proffer agreement, where he can disclose incriminating information about his involvement in a murder, but we can't use that self-incriminating statement against him. So this happens, in 2009. And then years go by, he's protected from his own incriminating statements, but then he begins to go out and boast publicly about his involvement in the murder. That completely nullifies, this agreement. Now everything he says is incriminating. He never had immunity, and that's the misunderstanding people have. He had protection from self-incrimination, but that's not immunity. He can still be prosecuted, and hopefully he does. Hopefully that's what we have going on right now.
What are we talking about here? And I realize that there's an element of speculation here, but the cops themselves have said that this is somehow related. So are we talking about like an accomplice type thing? I mean, you've been a cop for so long, you were in robbery, homicide. How are you viewing this?
Well, Keefe D is essentially the last man standing in the conspiracy to murder Tupac and Suge, by the way. They were set out to get both of them. But the other three members that were in the Cadillac that night have all passed on. So he's the only person that is alive today that can be prosecuted for the direct involvement in Tupac's murder. And so now that we've got Las Vegas, it looks like they've taken this to the next level, and hopefully we see an indictment or an arrest soon.
Now, if that's not clear to y'all, right, then maybe you might want to go to law school or go talk to a lawyer, paralegal, and propose these questions or propose some questions. If you don't think that this man has put himself in a position to get indicted for the murder of Tupac. Now, even if Keefe D didn't do the shooting, even if he didn't shoot the gun, he's still an accessory to the murder because he was in the car. And he gave enough goddamn testimony to put himself in a position to be accessory to murder because he said he passed the gun to them. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, this is all a movie. This is all a movie. And I'm going to tell you how this movie ends. Keefe D is going to get arrested and indicted for the murder. He may implicate Puff. Puff may get implicated too. But I'm going to tell y'all where the movie ends. This is how this movie ends. I hope I don't fuck it up by saying it, and the powers that be is watching, and I fuck up their plans for this movie. But I'm going to tell y'all how this movie ends. This is how this movie ends. All these years we've been trying to find out who killed Tupac, right? The Keefe D come out, whatever. It got to be some truth to the story because of what Suge said about him knowing and his relationship and Keefe D's relationship with Suge and knowing them niggas and all that other stuff. There's enough stuff right there to put Keefe D at the scene of the crime in the shooting because he told on his fucking self, right? And then there's the proof that he knows Suge because Suge paid Orlando Anderson to testify at his trial. His violation, his parole or probation violation hearing, right? And we know they grew up together because all the goddamn stories, these stupid niggas is all y'all niggas on the on you know what? I'm not gonna give y'all that game. I was just getting ready to give y'all $1 million, $10 million worth of game, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep that for myself because I might inspire some people to do some things. All the dots are connected, right? So now all Keefe D, all they got to do is indict Keefe D. He got enough testimony. They got enough internet testimony for him of him telling on himself, right? You got the Reggie Wright interviews. You got the Gene Dale interviews. You got all these different interviews that tie in this whole goddamn story, right? Niggas done painted the whole picture right there on YouTube through interviews. So now, let me show y'all, right? Let's say that there was another theory out there about who killed Tupac. I'm gonna show you how stupid this nigga Keefe D is, right? Like, y'all niggas keep going on these platforms and running y'all mouth, right? Look at the last interview this nigga did with Art of Dialogue. Shout out to him, right? Check this out. And I'm still under fair use, right? There go my copyright disclaimer. I'm still under fair use. I'm using this under fair use, all right, for teaching and news reporting and research. Look at this fool here. Y'all niggas don't learn. Oh, Choke, it ain't Vlad. It ain't Vlad. You right. You right. It ain't just Vlad. It's y'all created a culture of going to tell on yourselves. So now we know it's not just Vlad. It's various outlets now. It ain't just Vlad. It's various outlets now. Right? Look at this dumb shit this nigga did. And Keefe D, I don't mean to call you dumb or anything. I take that back. I don't want to call you dumb. I don't want to disrespect you. But brother, you're a couple of beers short of a six-pack if you think that you can go and talk on these platforms about something that don't have no statute of limitations. Here we go. Check this out. This is Keefe D, y'all. He's smiling. Same thing that laugh or make you cry. And that shit definitely applies in this goddamn situation right here.
On the platform, and he spoke about, the situation that happened in Vegas. And he said that, he felt like Tupac, he was being watched by the government the night that he was shot. And he also said that he felt like Tupac was set up. How you feel about them comments being made by Tupac dad?
Keefe D confessed to the United States government in a proffer agreement to handing his nephew Orlando Anderson the gun that ultimately killed your son Tupac Shakur. After Orlando was jumped at the MGM Grand, you've never spoken on this. How does that make you feel that he confessed to that and the government gave him a deal?
Well, I think the key question there is the government. The government gave him the deal. The same He was being tailed by the government the night of his assassination. He was being tailed by the government quad studio. That's a known fact. Known fact. So I don't know this guy, Keefe. I don't know. Maybe he had to say that to get out of some issues. I don't know. I just know it looked like a setup to me.
What Tupac's the government, what the government gonna kill him for? Who is he? What would the government kill him for?
This nigga's not smart. Yo, bro, I'm not going, like I said, I ain't going to disrespect you and call you dumb. Bro, you not smart, bro. Bro, that was your out. That was your fucking out. You could have played with that. You could have been like, yo, you know what? His father might have an idea, he might have something there. You never know. You never know. Like, bro, this nigga said, this nigga father tripping with the government conspiracy. Who the fuck was Tupac? That nigga was nothing. Nigga, we killed that nigga. We killed that nigga. Like, yo, bro, you not smart right here, bro. You are not fucking smart right here. This was your out, bro. If his father felt like it was a conspiracy theory and the government killed him, nigga, this was your fucking out. You could have threw the whole world in doubt, like, and played stupid. Like, damn, well, maybe his father knows something we don't know. I don't know. His father might be right. And the nigga would have been like, yo, well, I thought, yeah, hey. That man, that's his father. Who you believe, me or his father? Nigga, I would have played that shit. Oh, I would have played that shit. This nigga's a fool. Yo, this nigga's a fool, bro.
What Tupac's the government, what the government gonna kill him for? Who is he? What would the government kill him for? What would the government kill him for? That don't make sense. Why would the government kill him, bro? Come on, big dog. He that fucking powerful. Come on, man. That don't make no fucking sense. Like he Putin or some fucking body. Vladimir Putin. Come on, man. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Government had him on the hit list. Come on, man. That don't even sound right, man. Conspiracy theorists. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, the feds don't come knock on your door unless they got your ass. They got your ass by the balls. And their conviction rate is 99%. And I don't have $1 billion, and he don't have $1 billion. Tupac Daddy don't know how the feds work. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's his opinion, big dog. Let me tell you something, my brother. Tupac and them jumped on him. He was by himself. He didn't. My nephew never jumped on no fucking Tupac. Come on, man. Tupac was wrong with 2 left fucking shoes, nigga. I mean, don't you think he was wrong? Honestly.
I mean, yeah, I think he could have, reacted in a better way.
You listen, homie.
Now, right here, this is where you got to be real. Keefe D is 100% right. But he's not being smart and being right. Now's not the time to be trying to be super right. But yes, Tupac was fucking wrong. Tupac was 510% wrong. He had no right to jump on that nigga. None of that shit was his fucking business, and he's too big of a fucking celebrity and an asset to be just jumping on niggas for some street shit that he ain't got nothing to do with. And he not no gangbanger. Yes, Tupac was dead wrong, and that's why his ass is dead. He was wrong. Yes, he was. Had he not jumped on that boy, his ass would have lived longer. I ain't gonna say he would be alive today because all that shit is God's plan. You know what I'm saying? His shit happened like that for us to learn some shit. But yes, Tupac was dead ass wrong. And anybody out here that said he wasn't wrong, you ain't keeping it real with your goddamn self. But Keefe D, this is not the fucking interview to be saying that. Your ass going to jail, nigga.
Yeah. You know, that's his opinion, big dog. Let me tell you something, my brother. Tupac never jumped on him. He was by himself. He didn't. My nephew never jumped on no fucking Tupac. Come on, man. Tupac was wrong with 2 left fucking shoes, nigga. I mean, don't you think he was wrong? Honestly.
I mean, yeah, I think he could have, reacted in a better way.
You listen, homie. You don't think that man is wrong?
He could have reacted in a better way, I guess. I mean,
I'm talking about Vlad is his fucking biggest fan. He admitted that man is wrong, man.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, he
Come
was
on,
wrong, man, but that was only done out of loyalty, man.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. He never jumped. My nephew didn't jump on him. He jumped on my nephew, a kid, man. My nephew was a fucking kid. Them was grown ass mans, dude. You know what I'm saying? He was a fucking kid, dude. That's why he had on that jersey. He's a fucking kid, dude. You know what I'm saying? They was wrong. And my nephew never jumped on him. They jumped on my nephew. My nephew didn't throw a punch, man. Shit was wrong, dude. Jumped on the fucking kid, dude.
And if I'm not mistaken, Orlando, he hurt his shoulder, right?
Yeah, they kicked his shoulder and he went to the hospital, big dog. Yeah, they kicked his shoulder and he went to the hospital. Yeah, sure.
What exactly was wrong with the shoulder?
They put him on a sling. Gave him a sling. Yeah, they gave him a sling. Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling y'all, that shit is a matter of days. Oh, I didn't tell you how this shit gonna end, how the movie ends, right? This is a movie, bro. This is a movie. And you know how this, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how this is going to end, right? Tupac just got his Hollywood Star Walk of Fame, right? After all these years, right? He finally gets it, right? Then we see the motherfucking Hughes brothers, the niggas that Pac did not like, go and produce a goddamn documentary called Dear Mama, right? That documentary is out right now. Where is it on? Hulu or one of those? I don't even know. It's on one of these networks, right? I tried to watch it. I didn't like it. It was boring as shit, right? However, even though I didn't like it, many people loved it or whatever. I didn't like it. It was boring as fuck, right? That documentary has now just been nominated for an Emmy. So this is how the movie ends. Fucking Hughes brothers, the same niggas that Pac had beef with, is going to hold up a trophy and win at the Emmys for Dear Mama. And in that same speech, Tupac's sister's probably going to come up there and they're going to say, we finally found the killer, and the killer's finally been arrested that killed my brother, or the fucking Hughes brothers is going to say it. But that is going to be the fucking end of the Tupac movie. They're going to win the Emmy for that goddamn fucking documentary, and Keefe D and Puff Daddy is going to be in jail for it. Watch. That's how the movie's going to end. And then later in the year, there's going to be a conviction, or next year or whatever, and then you're going to see the fucking movie credits. That's going to be the end of the Tupac movie. Tupac movie ain't over yet. Watch. 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 I guarantee you Keefe D will be arrested before the Emmys come, and let me see when the Emmys. I don't even. They just announced. When's the next Emmys? Let me see. September 18th, 2023. Oh, but it might be postponed due to the writers' strike. But they just announced the nominations on July 12th. But it's supposed to be aired on Fox. I don't know if they're going to do that now due to the strike. But Tupac is that joint is nominated for Emmy. So you know what's going to happen. Tupac's going to win the Emmy. Keefe D's going to be in jail. All the fans are going to go be happy. And Tupac is going to be, oh my God. Like, that nigga fucking catalog is going to go bananas when this happens. But mark my words. Y'all know it. I usually predict it. Keefe D is going to fuck around and be indicted. And I'm willing to bet Puff is going to be indicted too. Watch. Watch what I'm telling you. As you heard, like Greg Caden said, this nigga ain't got no immunity. And you sitting up there and talking about the murder. Oh, bro. That nigga Puff is shitting his pants right now. I'm telling y'all. That nigga is talking to lawyers like a motherfucker right now. That nigga done dropped the bag on a retainer. That nigga's getting ready. Keefe D, he's getting ready. It's getting ready to happen, y'all. Puffy ain't scared. Yeah, okay. You think he ain't scared. You think he ain't scared. This is. Woo. Imagine, yo, you know how big of a trial that would be? To see like Gene Deal come in and testify that he saw the fucking check that Puff gave to Zip. Oh my God. This shit will be, yo. This shit will, oh man, this would be the OJ trial, bro. This would be, yo, this would be so fucking major, bro. Oh my God, yo. If you look at Bill Cosby, if you look at Harvey Weinstein, if you look at R. Kelly, And these niggas had sex crimes. This wasn't even murder, right? Look at them. Look at the dudes with Jam Master Jay. You telling me you don't think that these niggas is getting ready to get arrested? And this shit is on regular news now. It ain't us YouTubers and conspiracy theorists. This shit is on ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. Nigga, don't think Puff can't go to jail. You see Suge in that motherfucker right now. Don't think Puff can't go to jail. You see R. Kelly in that motherfucker right now. Boy. Keefe D. And yeah, Vlad, as soon as Keefe D get convicted, that's when Vlad, niggas gonna stop going to Vlad. Watch. They ain't learned from Boosie. Hey, Vlad, when you bringing Boosie back? Hey, Boosie, why you ain't go to Vlad yet? You talking all that shit when you got out of jail, nigga. Yeah, Vlad, I'm coming. Okay. Boosie, go up to Vlad and talk about your case. Go ahead, Boosie, go up there. What you waiting for? We've been waiting. When the next Boosie interview? Y'all ain't waiting for it? I'm waiting for it. Vlad, get Boosie up there and talk about his case. Y'all don't remember when Boosie got out of jail? He was talking shit. Yeah, niggas talking about Vlad the police in there. Why he never get locked up? 2 weeks later. Y'all come up to the jail and protest for me. That nigga Boosie was like, Vlad the police. Why he never get locked up? Whoop, whoop. Oh, what? Helicopters. What? And he got caught in the bay. Right? And he got caught in the bay. Same shit with Keefe D, nigga. You right over there on the West Coast, nigga. Boosie, why you ain't back up at Vlad yet, nigga? It's been too many weeks, nigga. Why your ass ain't been back up there, nigga? You said you was going. Don't get scared with your lawyer told you don't do it. Hey, Boosie, your lawyer told you don't go back to Vlad. Why you ain't been up there, nigga? Why you ain't been back up to Vlad, Boosie? We waited. Go up there and talk about your case. Go ahead. Vlad ain't the police. Don't worry about it. Get up there, Boosie. We need to know about your case. We need to know the niggas that was walking around with you and how the gun got in the car. You go tell it, nigga. Tell it. Go run, tell it. Go ahead. Come on, Boosie. Get back on Vlad, Boosie. Y'all keep saying what's going to happen to Reggie. What's going to happen to Reggie and what? The Tupac case? Reggie ain't going to get pulled into that shit. Police help police. It's not going to pull Reggie into that. Reggie ain't got it. Reggie, it will help them put Keefe D ass in jail. If anything, Instagram that's over, come over to YouTube. I will be here. I'm not going nowhere. We got more to talk about. Suge ain't gonna talk. Suge is not gonna talk. That's one nigga that's gonna stick to the code and shit. Suge is not gonna talk. He is not gonna go sit on the stand and because remember, Suge said he saw who shot him. Suge said, I know who shot me. He said, I looked the nigga dead in his face. And then remember, Keefe D, nigga. Oh, Keefe D, your ass is grass, nigga. It's just shit I could think about that Keefe D said. Keefe D said he looked at Suge, and Suge looked right at him. And he saw Suge with the bullet in his head. He said, yo, bro, that nigga's going to jail, bro. I can remember a bunch of shit Keefe D said in interviews that he incriminated himself with because I guess he felt like he got immunity. But, brother, where we at? July. 2 months, y'all. In less than 2 months, I'm going to call it. It's going to be less than 2 months. Keefe D is going to be indicted. Watch. In less than 2 months. Watch. I just wanted to know if they going to grab Puff immediately or they going to grab Keefe D first. And Keefe going to say, yo, Puffy hired us to do it. And then they going to grab Puff. Watch. Wait, let me see something here before I make that prediction. Yeah, I think they'll try to put it on Puff. With Puff involved, they get a conviction. With Puff not involved, they may not get a conviction because it's just Keefe D word and there's no witnesses to put Keefe D in jail. Suge ain't going to testify. Pac is dead. Them girls that said they saw a car, they ain't going to be able to identify Keefe D. And then I'm not sure if Keefe D lawyer could get all these interviews thrown out or something, like get them to where they can't use the interviews against him. I don't know if that will even be possible, but it will be harder in my head to convict Keefe D because he's the only one person. But I guarantee you, if a DA would be thinking, okay, well, he said Puff paid him. We ain't got nobody to testify against Keefe D. But if we prosecute Puff, we can get Keefe D to testify against Puff, and then we'll get a conviction. That's how they'll get the conviction. Get Keefe D to testify against Puff because there's nobody to testify on Keefe D to secure a conviction. But if they put it on him and Puff, then Keefe D could testify against Puff, saying that Puff paid him to do it, and then they'll get the conviction on Puff, and Keefe D will get out, or might do a little bit of time, but they will get the conviction on Puff, because if a jury hears Keefe D tell them that if a jury sees Keefe D identify Puff and say that Puff is the one that paid them to kill him, it's going to be easy to convict the jury of that through all the East Coast, West Coast beef that was going on between Bad Boy and Death Row. The prosecutor could paint Puff is scared of Pac they could paint Puff in so many ways. They could paint Puff as rich enough to pay a nigga $1 million to do it. They could go and pull video of Puff hanging with Keefe D or Big in them and showing Keefe D in them around Puffing them. Other times prior to that Vegas incident. They got Puff on songs, talking shit. They can really get Puff. I see a harder conviction going after Keefe D by himself. Because there's nobody to testify against Keefe D. Who else can testify against Keefe D? Greg Caden could say, oh, he confessed that to me. I got it on video. I mean, I got it on audio. He could play that. They could play all of the Vlad interviews and all the other interviews. But who is going to put Keefe D at the scene? At the car? Who's going to be able to say they saw him do shooting? I want to say I think they said they found the weapon. I'm just thinking in my head, how do you get a conviction on Keefe D with no witness in a murder? There's nobody to testify. They would really have to use his own testimony against him, and he would have been beat on the first nigga to convict himself through an interview. There's nobody to testify against him. It's only Suge Knight. Suge Knight would be the only person to testify against him. Even the Outlaws, they was in the car behind. How can they say they saw for sure that it was them? After all these years, they never said that they seen it. Suge is getting ready to come home anyway, so Suge testifying against Keefe D to get out. That ain't gonna happen. Like Suge is not gonna testify against that nigga. He's not gonna do that. And Suge is about to get out. Y'all think Suge is going to do all that time? No, Suge already giving some of that time back. That nigga coming home soon. Watch. They don't need a witness when you tell on yourself. He's not, yeah, he's telling on himself, but he's not telling on himself. You get what I'm saying? The jury can watch all his interviews and stuff, but let's just say that the lawyers do find a way or loophole where they can't use none of his interviews against him. What if they say, well, he had a proffer agreement, this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other, and the judge agrees and say that they can't use any of that shit? How do you get him convicted? You would need a fucking witness. It would have to be somebody to testify against him if they can't use any of that testimony. We all know he said he gave him the gun. That's not what I'm saying to y'all is if they cannot use these interviews, how would you convict him? Not how would you convict them? How would you get a conviction if they can't use these interviews? If there's nobody to testify against them and they can't use the interviews, the only way the prosecutor is getting a slam dunk in this case is to prosecute Diddy and say that he put out the hit, and then get Keefe D and the in the corner to where he got to testify against Puff to say that Puff paid them to do it. And then all they'll do is go check Zip Bank records and see that if he ever got any money where in a lump sum of $500,000 or $1 million check or this, that, and the other, and then they check that check and the check leads back to Bad Boy, then Puff ass is cooked. I just don't see them being able to convict Keefe D without using his interviews. His interviews will definitely have to send his ass up the river. That confession that he gave the feds, they can't use that. They can't use that. When the feds talked to him and he gave that confession, they cannot use that. That will get thrown out. That cop did a dirty cop move. He wasn't supposed to record him, and he leaked the video. That shit'll get thrown out. That's going to get thrown out. Now his book, man, this nigga got his book. He got these interviews. This nigga ass is cooked. He's cooked. He is cooked. I'm telling you, they're going to grab G, Keefe D, and Puff. And Keefe D, he better be careful. Because Puff, we know that nigga. That nigga, he be done drop the bag before he motherfucking that nigga go to jail. That nigga have niggas looking for Keefe D ass. Y'all don't think nothing gonna happen, huh? Okay. Them running up in his house. They could have been grabbing up materials from his book. Ain't no telling what they ran up in there. But they ran in there for a goddamn reason. Keefe D ain't the smartest guy, bro. I'm sorry, Keefe D. Y'all keep going up to Vlad, boy. Vlad, you did it. You did it, Vlad. You did it. You did it, Vlad. You did it. Oh, baby, you did it. Oh, man.